I moved here 22 years ago from New York City, Queens, New York. I have probably spent the better part of 35 to 37 years of my life working in what broadly is called the music industry, and a lot of that is music that I grew up on, rooted in 70s punk rock, more so in, could be, I'd say all of it, from New York City punk rock to Midwest punk rock to, UK punk rock. Artists, bands, music that I release under Rum Bar, it's music that I love, done by people that I personally love. If you like any number of those things, from doo-wop to oldies to rock and roll to punk, we should definitely have something that you would dig.
Made your way back to me. I still feel.
The name behind Rum Bar Reccords was just really about this room we're sitting in, which is a room that my wife Lisa Pollock had put together. It's the Rum Bar, and it's filled with lots of stuff from all over the place. Found in thrift stores or picked up at tiki events or from friends' establishments.
How can you have a Rum Bar Records label without a rum bar?
I figured, well, if we got the Rum Bar in the house, we'll have the Rum Bar of the music. It just kind of fit hand in hand. So, okay, Rum Bar Records. That's Lou and Lisa. Okay, that's cool. This is what I'm a part of, is mine, and has my footprint on it and my stamp on it and my ear on it. And so what I do, I'd say daily in Rum Bar Records hours, we can't say it's a daily job, it's a throughout the week or throughout the month kind of job. I had a call last night, I'll bring it up with a band, and the call was about, okay, we're going to release a single which is going to lead to an album. What are we going to do? Well, let's plan. We got to set up the single digitally. Then we got to decide how we're going to put together press and radio. And then we're going to maybe have a physical piece to that album a couple of weeks or months later. So I'm doing things like, I run a Bandcamp page, which is like Rum Bar's website, and you can get all of our releases there, physical and digital. People are placing orders through that site. I do all the packing and shipping out of that myself. I may run down to the post office 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how busy we are. I may help put together artists' art for flyers, for packaging. We do promo. If I have a couple of releases that are coming up, I'll need to spend some time building what I call my Bandcamp skeleton, which is, uploading the audio, the art, and then figuring out how are we going to sell this. And this is too, and I work for an independent, I'm so proud of what I do, because Rum Bar Records is an independently owned company by Lisa and I, or my family. I do work full-time. I've been working 13 plus years now for Traffic Entertainment, and just to bring them up, that's a music industry related job. The fact that I work for one of their 3 arms in an independent, and to still be working in an independent world for an independent business is really a great feeling that I have and take pride in.
Oh yeah, going back to knowing all these musicians in town for, gosh, let's say years, not decades. And all of a sudden finding each other on the same label and supporting each other's bands, being on compilations together and all that. And also outside of music, outside of the stage anyway.
In the Boston rock community. And I think one of the reasons that the Rum Bar has been really successful is that Lou's given that community a home.
And also creative control. We can, it's not like we're going to send it to Lou and he's going to say, this will never sell. Yeah. We don't have to worry about that. No, we'll just never worry about that. It's just you can, put out what you feel and what you want. Yeah.
I do this all on my own. I do everything myself, from setting things up to our mail order business. I pack all that stuff out. I get to see the customers' names and cities and states where this is going. At the same time, getting involved locally, bringing this into Boston, which is what we're talking about, in the Boston community. A band may come to me and say, Lou, we'd like your involvement in a show we're putting on. We'd like the Rum Bar name. I'm only going to say yes to that if I'm committed to giving my time to that. My name is worth nothing if I'm not giving everything to my name. And so sometimes I got to say no because I don't have the time. But we have a show coming up at the Square Root. It's a Rum Bar Reccords presents. Square Root is a coffee shop / club in Roslindale. You can get our stuff around the world, whether you're getting it from us direct or to, I just shipped a box out to Japan last week. I shipped a box to the Netherlands the week before that. We do live in Boston, not a surrounding neighborhood or town. So a bunch of the bands, which people watching this may or may not know, out of Boston, go from legendary artists like the Dogmatics or Muck and the Myers, which also have national reach, to very, right here in our backyard, local friends and artists like the Spackles, or the High End, or Hambo and Skinny, which is Skinny Mike and Steph, who also owned a music shop, Mike's Monster Music. In the High End, you got Anthony, the bass player, and Bruno, the guitarist. They own and book bands at the Square Root, a local club. It's Jay Allen too, another one from Boston. Or we're going South Shore to Kevin Patey and Amy from Jittery Jack. And Kevin Patey owns Jack's Barber Shack. I mean, look at this. I've just named a bunch of bands along with me that not just live in Boston, but have their own businesses in Boston. And I feel like that community right there is very special and core to us, because then people remember these Boston artists, this Boston label.
And the fact, I kind of called here in Boston, it's like a village, it's not a geographic village, but we're all sort of connected through this, love of rock and roll music, that independent rock.
I remember one of the first release we did with him. They played it in Spain, and it was a hoot hearing the Spanish announcer, mangling the album title and the lyrics, because Lou sent him the stuff that I felt like I had made it. So even though being in a band in Boston is often thankless and certainly cashless, to get that kind of exposure with somebody who's known as a hit maker was really a treat.
Lou's a great guy. He's when you play music, especially at our age, and you're at a point where you're not really young and trying to make a career out of it, the rule is it's got to be fun. But there's a lot of headache stuff that goes along with it, and Lou takes care of that. Rum Bar and Lou, he's so enthusiastic. He's just a positive bolt of energy, and sometimes you need that. You feel like, what the heck am I doing? Why am I even bothered in doing this? But Lou's like the excited one that's just, when he's putting something new out, can't wait for it. He gets it out there to a lot of platforms I just wouldn't bother on my own, radio stuff and things like that. And at the end of the day, he's just a good guy.
The main thing is the time and the commitment. So if I'm getting behind an artist and a release, and we're going to put it out, I need the time. We've run the gamut from getting Rum Bar releases played on the smallest backroom radio station, to Sirius XM satellite radio stations, to radio stations on the dial. We've been able to get these releases from my Bandcamp page into people's hands across the world. When you look at that, it's really the time, and at the same time think of who you are and where you are in life. Work, family, child, mortgage. paying bills. Any minute of time of your day that's taken is time taken. So I do this all in my spare time away from my family, late nights, early mornings, weekends. I do try to take the weekend off. But it's really a time-consuming labor of love, and it's time that I think is well spent to do what we do. Really, that's the main thing of what it is, and keeping people interested as well, their time. I'm asking you for your time. Hey, take the time to listen to this. Those, I'd say fans or customers or family that keeps coming back, listening to what we're putting out next, or maybe what we've previously been involved in that they haven't checked out, is incredible. It really is.
It's not just a passion project, it's a people project as well. It's not ego driven, and the people who are on it are not egotistical. It's very authentically Boston in that way. It's that, one of the things I've loved about being here as a transplant is that, if you're a straight shooter, if you're a good person, there's a home for you here.
Well, I guess it's really that spirit of rock and roll that Lou loves so much.
He's a real trooper. He's a philanthropist of the arts, I like to think,
Won't you stay? One year missed exchanging kisses. Let's forgive past sins.
Thank you.